right, you guys, podcast time.
Chew. It's quieter.
Fucking podcasting right now.
Chew quieter.
And now, to the podcast studio.
Welcome back to Chew Quieter. Armando is back from his few days that he had in Moab for Easter Jeep Safari and where he attended the Patriot Crawl. So how was that?
I spent 36 hours in Moab. I got in Saturday night about 10 p.m. and left Monday morning at about 7:30 a.m.
Jeez.
I was going to stay, but it was fucking cold.
Oh yeah.
And a little snowy, and I don't have a Jeep, so I didn't have a wheeler. So what was I going to go do? Either sit passenger and sit for the day, or just hang around in town and do nothing for the day.
Either way, it's not fun.
Either way, it's not fun, and it's not what I really wanted to do. So I went out and took care of the stuff we needed to do for the Patriot Crawl. Got all that done and boogied out.
How was the attendance for the Patriot Crawl?
Probably light. Definitely light from previous years, but a little lighter than expected.
Overall attendance for EJS though has been going down each year.
Yes.
So
as attendance for EJS goes down, attendance for Patriot Crawl definitely will go down, but it doesn't help that it rained Sunday morning. So I'm driving up the road up to area BFE in a freshly washed truck, might I add.
You hear that, Jake?
And
freshly washed.
And it was. I have pictures of it, and it was caked on mud. When I got up to area BFE, and I go to get out of the truck, I go to step down. The step was so covered in mud it didn't drop down, and almost fell out of the truck. I think Robert from area BFE was just laughing at me as I almost fell out of the truck.
So
and then you're just
schwacked.
in mud. Yeah, and it's just mud and it's clay mud, and it kind of sucked. But got up there, we set up. Like I said, probably there was a few people that I know that were coming out that stuck back in town because it was rainy and cold, and they were in a Jeep without doors or tops. So I got a few of those texts. Hey, I'm not going up there. I'm staying in town.
But
I would be the same way. I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, if I was taking the Scout up there and having to wheel a Scout, there's no way I'd be getting out of bed.
Oh, well, just remember we were coming back down from Holy Cross.
And Holy Cross,
and we got caught in that rainstorm without doors, and it got cold. Like, it was frigid.
You were like hypothermia almost.
Yeah.
I think you jumped in the Gladiator, and I had the heater and everything, seat warmers, everything on full blast heat in there, and it took you probably about an hour until we got back into town before you even defrosted. Yeah.
It was. I don't want to say my hands were blue, but they weren't exactly purple. They were like, same color as my ears, just beet red.
Just beet red. Yeah, it'll get you. So I definitely get that, and I wouldn't want to go up there and have to. It was I timed out on the car wash twice, and it's still not gone. Trying to get the mud out of everything and under the hood. It probably didn't help that I didn't put the fender liners back into the truck.
Oh, fuck.
I was thinking that I put the shocks got rebuilt. I got the new rock crawler shocks with the adjusters on them now for the Ram.
Mm-hmm.
Got those back in, and they just look so cool without the inners. I just left the inners out. And didn't think about
double
mud. Oh, it's terrible. I was like in there and I'm like, so I had to go from the bottom to get the big clumps off, and then from the top to push it all back down, and then back to the bottom to clean it back up, and then back to the top to clean it back down from the engine. So yeah, it was pretty nasty.
There's only a few times that I actually washed my Jeep, and it was only when there were like big clumps of mud or just a lot of mud. But other than that, if it was dust, I didn't give a shit. I just wait for the next rain to happen, and I'd push it outside from the garage and just let the rain take care of it.
I'm a little more anal than that. I think usually I have a car wash in the morning and at night if we're doing trails. But the truck, since I don't drive it as often as I probably should, I don't wash it as much as I should. But it gets washed and just sits.
Mm-hmm.
So then I want to drive it, then I have to wash it. It's a baby. And then everyone's laughing at me. Oh, your princess is all dirty. I'm like, fuck you guys. and yeah, she's fucking dirty. So, but no, Patriot Crawl is great. We had some great sponsors come out. Revolution Axle and Gear, Gear and Axle. Kevin from I know I'm gonna screw this up. On track device. Basically, it's a really cool device. You put on your tire. So for all those older, out of shape, or maybe some guys with back problems that have a problem picking up a 40 or a 42 on a bead lock and taking them off, rotating and putting them back on. You know, that little half an inch you got to pick them up to get them back onto the lug nuts. You know how hard that can be.
That'll make your other nut come out.
Yeah, that he makes a device. You just put it under roll the tire up and over it, and then you put your foot on it and use your foot leverage, and then you can slide it up and back onto the lug nuts, and it'll raise it about 2 inches. It's a pretty cool device. He's done the SEMA launch pad with it a few years ago and got like one of the best products at SEMA. So it's a really cool device, and he's adding some cool features to some of the new iterations and the new stuff that he's bringing out to kind of help the guys put your tires on, especially the big tire guys. The little tire guys, they don't care. I go out there and I've changed the tires on my kid's car. I'm like, what is this thing? This is like a donut.
It's a donut.
It's a little donut.
Yeah.
But all good. We had a great time. Robert from Area BFE hosted us back out there again, and appreciate that. Robert had his mom and his sisters out there helping organization stuff out there, and I got a chance to talk to them, and it was a good event. Everyone went out and had a good time, and I think Ray only got them lost one time, but we're good.
What was the most run trail that day?
Well, we just did one because we had a smaller group and it was muddy and nasty. So we didn't feel like we wanted to send people off sliding off cliffs and shit like that. So
Strike Ravine?
Strike Ravine. Yeah, Strike Ravine. And even Strike Ravine, they were like, it was a little sketchy in the freaking rain and the mud. There's where you drop down, I guess there's a spot where it's just off camber and you're dumping down. Mm-hmm. Well, Ray was on there, and he's like, first, he's a leader, and he said we slid, and he's like, I about shit my pants. So add a little water to the sandpaper rocks in Moab or even San Hollow, St. George area, and it changes the dynamic of wheeling out there.
Yeah, I bet. So did you have a burrito for me from Gilberto's?
Yeah, and so Moab's always been one of my favorite places to go. The wheeling is great. Usually you get to hang out and see some people you don't always see, and it just becomes like a fun adventure and a fun time. But the problem that always exists in Moab is we're kind of the redhead stepchildren now because nobody wants us at their establishments. We all frequent the brewery, and now the brewery has kind of pushed to bicycles, and they don't really cater to the Jeepers anymore. So I still see a lot of Jeeps in there, but the attitude is changed. The price is ridiculous. Hotels. So there's probably, I don't know, 10 new hotels out there, and then new condos and stuff like that. All the new hotels and the newer hotels are $300 a night minimum.
God damn.
Yeah. That's a hotel. Condos, when we first started going there, I believe we paid about $2,100 for a condo for the entire week. That was Saturday to Saturday. Now you're talking probably $5,000-$7,000 depending on the size of the condo, and up from there depending.
I guess I'm never going back to Moab.
The shitty hotels like the Moab Inn, the 1950s ones that haven't really been redone, you can do those for $200 a night, but I don't want to stay.
That's still expensive
there. Still expensive for a shithole. Yeah, it's a Motel 6 in Moab that's $200 a night, and it's a little ridiculous. Back to Gilberto's, I got a $12.50 breakfast burrito.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so that used to be the great stop because you go get their breakfast burrito special was like $5.99 in the morning, and they were giant, and I'd eat half of it when we left, and about 10, 11 o'clock, eat the rest of it, and I'd be good until dinner.
Don't tell me the size changed too.
The size was probably a little smaller, but it wasn't like half the size, but it was a little smaller, and it was $12.50 for a freaking burrito. And then if you wanted to go with the Moab burrito, which is the mother of all burritos, has all the meats in it. It was, I think it was $13.50 on the menu, plus tax, plus the 78 cents charge for using your debit card.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, so you'd be $16, probably $15-$16 for a freaking burrito.
That's insane.
And then don't add beans because that's like $2.
For beans?
To add beans was like $2.
Yeah, I'm never going back to Moab.
So,
I mean, I already knew it was going downhill. It was already falling out of favor. But, I mean, every year it seems to be getting worse. And this is the pinnacle of it getting worse, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like, between the prices of the hotels, the food, the attitude.
Yeah.
And they're closing trails.
They're trying to close trails. They're working on some of that, but I made the mistake of I went through Monticello and fuel was like $3.89, $3.99 for diesel, and I was like, it's usually cheaper in Moab because they have so much traffic in Moab. Nope, $4.49 for diesel in town, every station. I think $4.43 was the cheapest at the Chevron, at the Shell maybe, but everything else was $4.49. Luckily I had enough to get back because I was like, screw this. When I go back, I'll just fill up as I head out of Monticello. I paid $3.79 a gallon for diesel in Monticello.
Almost a full $1 less.
So yeah, that's a lot less. And they can't say, oh, well, it's more remote. Come on. It's 40 miles really across Phoenix. And they got the truck's got to go where the truck's got to go.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
It's not a little mountain town at the top. So, I mean,
it's been nice.
It is what it is. But I didn't have a great feeling in town with. What else I see? Zach's did pretty good. We did lunches for the veterans, and they do a good deal for us for the lunches. But as I'm sitting there in the restaurant, waiting for them to finish the order and box everything up, they had a fajita special on the board. It was $29 for fajitas. Yeah, I'm like, that was a special. like, that's your special $30 for fajitas? It's just chicken, shrimp, and beef. I'm like, you might get a pound of all of them combined, but $30?
It's because they put beans on it.
It's probably the beans.
Is
It's the
$2
beans.
extra.
And it's funny is that the bean
$3 extra.
The bean farm is right there on the other side of the border in Colorado. If you go out the other way, North Cortez, there's all the bean farms out there. So I'm like,
I bet you only get 2 tortillas with that.
I don't even know. I just looked at that and went, imagine going there with a family. Take the wife and the kids, and you want to go spend the week in Moab. How much is this going to cost you?
This all cannot be blamed on Biden-inflation either, because it was before the inflation started to really ramp up. It was already getting expensive.
Yeah. They were rising up, and it had started rising, and it's getting out of hand. They're using this. Well, the COVID shortages and whatever as an excuse, but all that is gone now. I mean, there was an investigation I saw. They were trying to investigate some retailer of price gouging after COVID, and there was like more and more of these happening for different companies that are keeping groceries high for shortages when the shortages no longer exist. So hopefully that comes to an end, and because I mean, yeah, things have gotten a little more expensive here and there, but it's craziness.
Yeah. You know what is also crazy? I'm getting all these emails for gun advertisements, and I love them, and I hate them.
I'm like, well, what's the problem here?
I love it and hate it because I want to buy everything.
Well, yeah, you always want to buy everything.
This seems to be like the one thing that the prices have not really gone up on. And I want to thank the gun manufacturers for that, and especially Palmetto State Armory. They have not raised prices whatsoever, and they're still very consistent and cheap. Inexpensive, not cheap.
Not cheap. They're still priced reasonably and the same. They haven't changed much of that.
Yeah. So my first 300 Blackout that I bought, it's a 7.5-inch barrel, and it has a Magpul 2-piece handguard. So it's a plastic one, the polymer. And I want to swap it out for a floating handguard, 1-piece. So I'm thinking to myself, well, that's going to cost me about $300 for a good handguard. Or I can just buy a whole new upper from PSA for about $250. So I just got their, Easter, deal special thing in my email, and I look at it and I'm like, oh wow, $219 for a 7-inch. For an 8.5-inch with the 7-inch handguard. Perfect. It's a win-win situation. And then if I ever need to, I'll just swap out I'll just take that extra upper and put it on my wife's AR if she wants to shoot it. If we're at the range or something like that. So I'll have an extra 300 Blackout upper. So
I see no problem with this reasoning.
Yeah.
Except for my reasoning would have been, well, I've already had this one a while. I should just buy a whole new freaking rebuild and just have a new one.
Well, I already have a Gucci 300 Blackout. It's got a
but you don't have 2 of them.
I don't need to. I'm trying to make my safe have some breathing room in it because I have plans. I want to get another
bigger safe
rifle.
You get a bigger safe. That's your plan.
It's a big safe already. I already have a lot of guns in it.
I've seen some pretty big gun safes, way bigger.
But I want to get a new hunting rifle. I want to get a new shotgun. I want to get a Benelli. So I'm trying to have purpose with my purchases.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah.
now-
As you said, Benelli, I looked over at my Benelli, which I haven't shot yet.
That's a sin.
It's totally a sin. It's sitting there in a case, and I took it out to the range. And then the day I went out there, they were doing some sort of competition, and I was like, I'm not a competition even close to being competition caliber, so I didn't shoot.
If you're not going to use it, I'll buy it off you right now for 60 cents on the dollar.
No, I'm using it. I just need to use it. I just need to set it up the time and just go use it. No, it's no, at the time I ordered it, there wasn't any available, so I had to wait for it for I don't know, month and a half. And then I get it here, and the box sitting right there, and it's sitting behind there. I believe there's probably a couple cases of ammo sitting below there with it too, that I took out to go play with it, and then I got shells for days, new gun that hasn't been fired, all in the case and everything. And it's sitting next to golf clubs I haven't used in a year.
God damn! Listen, in 3 months, if that thing is not used, I'm buying it off you for 50 cents on the dollar.
All right, I'll go shoot some coyotes out the back wall.
So with right now, the way turnaround times are on NFA item approval, for example, silencers, if you're doing a standard trust or individual, people are getting approvals within a day or 3 days.
Wow. Last we talked, you said it was about a month.
Well, last time we talked, it was briefly about it, and it was about a month and a half, 3 months was the longest for that. For people doing bigger trusts with more people on it, it was going up to, I think it was 9 months. But when I first got my first one, it was just over 9 months with an individual trust, a standard trust. So now that I already have these trusts in place, I could probably get an approval within a day or two. So I'm thinking about just like buying a couple more. I don't need them, but it's nice to have them, just to have a host gun for every suppressor. Then I have another reason to just put another 30 cal on my other 300 blackout.
So what ad did you get for those? Easter sale on that.
So here's the thing. So I saw the news on this, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to silencershop.com. I'm going to buy one. I started looking. Every fucking thing is either sold out on back order or something. There's none available on their website that they'll ship tomorrow, just because everyone's buying them up because the wait times have just gone way down.
Yeah.
So I don't blame everyone for doing that. I mean, obviously I was trying to do the same thing.
It's time's good.
One thing I saw that was interesting also, I think it was in Colorado or California, same thing. Anyways, they defined what an assault weapon is, and you'll never believe their definition of this assault weapon that they're calling it.
Well, coming from those two, I'd believe anything.
It is any rifle with a detachable magazine. That means my Ruger 1022 that has detachable magazine, 22 LR caliber, is an assault weapon. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't think they understand the full complexities of what they're doing. Obviously, it's unconstitutional that they're trying to restrict magazines and certain weapons. I think we've already seen Bruin strike all that shit down. California keeps getting their butt spanked with lawsuits. So it's just a matter of time before all these lawsuits are saying to all these states, hey, listen, you cannot infringe anyone's Second Amendment rights. You just cannot do it.
It's going to come to a point here, and it's so many things that we've had just willy-nilly laws just thrown out there by just because they're listening to the people that aren't really the people. They're the whiners that they're listening to. So they're once we get off of the fact that the 1% of the whiners can make all the rest of us do what we want to do, then we get back to the majority rules. We'll all be better off.
Speaking of whiners, did you hear about the FDA's lawsuit?
No, against.
So there was a lawsuit brought up. It was actually I forget which court it was. I don't think it was the Supreme Court. Anyways, the higher court said to the FDA, you can no longer have on your website misinformation about ivermectin. So they had to take down all of their social media posts that ivermectin was just a horse pill or a cow pill, and that it was not good for combating COVID-19. After how many years did they tell us that ivermectin was not good for you? That it was not meant to take for COVID. All of a sudden, like they're getting smacked and saying, "Hey, that's bullshit. That's misinformation."
Yeah. Well, I mean, the pharmaceutical companies were saying that you couldn't. We had to go through a gray market doctor and a compounding pharmacy to get it when COVID was at its highest.
That's crazy.
I think we paid $100 each to have an online consultation with this gray market doctor. And it was a 2-minute call. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem. Here, your prescription will be on the way. And then we each had to do that and pay the $100 fee. And then they sent the order to the compounding pharmacy. And the way they sent it to the compounding pharmacy, they filled it. And then we got there, it was like $600 for that. I was like, what the hell? And this is the same ivermectin. I can go to Tractor Supply and get a tube of it for like $38. How the hell does this like happen like this? So apparently the pharmacist comes up. She's like, well, it's mostly the way that they sent it over. We could have compounded this and it would have costed you about $60. I'm like, well, why didn't you just call us and say this to have it redone? So at the time there was no other option. So we paid the $600. And then the next go around, the refill that we had to get, we had them change it so it could be compounded. But yeah, it's crazy.
It's a fucking scam.
Yeah, everything. Everything is a scam. It's like, really, you have to put the description like that and change it. I mean, will A work the same as B? Then why don't you give me B? Because it's cheaper.
So that's one reason. They said A. That's one reason why I left Colorado during the peak of COVID. I was in the supermarket and they had these arrows, one-way arrows down these aisles.
Oh yeah.
And I went the wrong way down one of these aisles and someone said, "Hey, you got to go the other way." I was like, "What are you talking about?" They said it's only one way for because of COVID. I said, "So you're telling me that this flu only gets in people's systems if you're walking a certain direction?" They're like, "Well, I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told." I'm like, if you don't know, then why are you telling people to do this? How do you know it's that? How do you know you don't get it if you're going that way, the way you're telling me to? They're like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, of course you don't know. This is fucking stupid.
They're gonna put you like a rat in a maze. Like, okay, let's see how much we can get these fuckers to just follow through and just comply.
I didn't comply for shit. These arrows, I was like, I'll piss on your fucking arrows, bitch. Fuck your arrows. That's when I think it was about a month later, I came to Tennessee for some filming. And I told the wife, I'm like, "You're coming out when I'm done filming. We're going to look around. You're going to tell me if you like the state. You're going to tell me if you like Nashville, surrounding areas. We're going to look for a place to live if you like it." So she came out We took 2 days to look around. By the third day, she was like, yeah, this place is gorgeous.
We're done.
This is it. We're going to buy a house here. Like, sweet. So we went back home. I think it was maybe 30 days later, if that. We told our employers, hey, we're moving. We're not sure exactly when yet, but we're moving. And then we ended up canceling out our lease on our apartment. We found an apartment in Murfreesboro. We packed our shit up, and a few months later, we were gone.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. This is I'm not dealing with this fucking liberal controlled boondoggle of you either do what we tell you to or you're going to go to jail or something like that. I wasn't playing that. And when we were in Tennessee, it was still the height of COVID. And the only thing that was the big difference is they had basically condoms on the remote controls in the hotels. That was really it.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine living in California still during that time, but the move from California, Arizona, even before any of that was easy for me. It was like, came out here, I'm like, okay, I love this. Mm-hmm. And I think the visit to Arizona the first time was like August, and by middle of October, we had already bought a house and moved out of our other house, and we're Arizona residents.
Yeah. So
it just happens that fast when you know you don't want to be in a place anymore, and you're ready to move on, and you find a place that you feel is going to be the spot for you.
Mm-hmm. It's
it helps.
It's really fucked up that the Democrats and liberals are really fucking with people that don't want to be fucked with. And I'll give you an example of that. Trump had his bond set at $455 million for an issue where it was not an issue. There was no victims. There was no corporate espionage. There was no corporate issues. The banks that they said that he quote unquote stole from were going to testify for him, and they even said they wanted to continue doing business with him. Yeah. His bond set at $455 million. Now, do you remember Bernie Madoff?
Yep.
You know how much his bond was?
His was almost nothing, and
it was $10 million.
Yeah, and he built people for billions.
Yes.
So it's definitely a joke. The whole situation is a joke, but even the election, they want to get him off the ballots, and they're like, no, you can't take him off the ballot. Come on.
Yeah.
You can whine to your 1% whiners that you're going to do it, but at the end, it's not legal for you to do it. Come on. Yeah. You're saying he's a tyrant, and no, he's a dictator, but
what they're doing is actually the same thing. They're being tyrannical.
You're the dictators, and you're being a dictator and tyrannical, and by doing what you're doing because you're trying to stop him.
Yeah.
Like, it would be the same for anyone. Anybody has the right to do it. It's just, I don't know, just ridiculousness.
And it seems like the same party is hiding all of these sex trafficking personnel. So now they got Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
Hear about this? Puff Daddy's house.
Diddy's on both of his houses, I thought.
He had two houses raided.
New York and California, both.
Miami.
Miami and California. Oh, okay. I was gonna say if it was New York and California, I'm like, but Miami is the most liberal city in
Florida.
Yeah.
So I guess
it's the biggest city, but it's the most liberals.
It sounds like
they have the most criminals.
Yeah, it sounds like Puff Daddy's on the run. I guess he flew out of the country as soon as he had wind of these raids were coming.
Yeah.
So now he's supposedly he's in a country that does not extradite.
Of course he is.
And he won't answer the question why he wanted to hang around Justin Bieber so fucking much. Leave the fucking little boy alone, man.
But this is the whole idea of the Hollywood has been going around for a long time, and it's just been swept under. It's been how many kids were abused. Look at the two Coreys, in the 80s. That now all the stuff is surfacing about the Nickelodeon guy.
Yeah,
that was doing that. Michael Jackson. I mean, like that. Yeah. So I mean, look at all of these people that for years have been in this subculture, as it may be, and the entertainment industry has just been a subculture for I don't know how long, forever probably.
Yeah, I think Shirley Temple actually had mentioned something to it when she got older.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. It was happening back then. I'm sure all the little rascals probably had stories and
not Spanky.
All these child stars. Yeah, how do you think he got his name?
We're naming you Spanky. Why? Come here, let me show you.
Let me show you. But
you're
yeah,
alfalfa. Why am I alfalfa? Let me lick your head and I'll tell you why.
Yeah. What was it? The podcast. The two Soprano kids have a podcast.
Oh, Meadow and AJ. I don't know.
Yeah.
Their names.
Yeah.
I don't
but
care.
They have a podcast. I follow them on Instagram. I don't know how. This is the problem I have with Instagram is I don't use it, so I can be scrolling and sometimes I touch stuff and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I guess I'm following that now.
Yeah, obviously I
don't. It just pops in my feed.
Obviously, I don't use it either because you send me I'll open it once in a while and I'll see like 20 messages from you, and they're all just like links or shared something or others, and I'm like, oh, I should probably. It's stupid shit
that other people send to me that I forward to you.
Yeah,
because it makes sense for something.
Only reason why I use it now is so that way we can share stuff about the podcast to other people.
Yeah,
the only reason why I still have it. Yeah, but. Diddy has been having legal troubles for a while now. Like he was sued in civil court by a former girlfriend that was also on his record label, Cassie. And it's coming out more and more from other artists that he had that he's just a sexual deviant, that he has these wild sex parties, and he wants sex acts certain ways, and he likes his shit rough, and he tells other people to perform so he can watch, and he's just a weird fucking dude. Like,
and well, I mean, this is what that industry breeds, and there's no hiding it anymore. I mean, they're hiding the Epstein shit still, which, like, come on, we know, everyone knows it happens. Everyone knows that someone has a list, but we haven't seen it. We see little excerpts of something, but it's just part of court records. We haven't seen the book. We haven't seen the extent for which they have information. Now, who are they guarding? Are they guarding politicians? Is that what it is? I mean, they hiding entertainers? All of the above? None of the above?
All of the above, I think. Yeah, because I think Prince Henry. One of those guys, he has been named in some of the papers involved with P. Diddy. They're not saying that he did anything wrong, but he's mentioned a lot because he always partied with P. Diddy. So there was also rumors about the other royal that died a while back, that he was involved with sex trafficking and he was on Epstein Island. So it goes beyond Hollywood, and it needs to be stopped. Really, I mean,
well, you look at it and think about it. I'm going to play the conspiracy here.
Oh, I love conspiraries because they're
the conspiracists.
Conspiracies are undefeated.
Kim's going to love this. Kim's going to love this because I'm not really good at this side of it.
Conspiracies have been undefeated lately, so let's hammer this out.
Well, yeah. So, the entertainment industry You figure in the 60s and 70s, you had people that were performing and they made some money. Now you have entertainers that have one hit that have millions and millions of dollars off of one hit. You know that they're not making the money there. So now this counterculture of it is, okay, we'll give you the money, but you got to back us politically. You have to do all of this. So basically, they got their hand up your ass, making you a puppet for whatever their politics are. And then now they invite you into all this little subculture, and now you can't get out because they got something on you.
Yeah.
So it's like they lure you with a little bit of money, and then they go, okay, we gotcha.
Cat Williams was recently on a show with Shannon Sharp. It almost broke the internet. It was a couple months back, and he was just dishing the dirt on everybody. And he mentioned this, that in 2024, it's going to come out. Everyone that has been doing the dirt, it's going to come out. And it's starting to come out. He was right.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So, but we'll never see a P. Diddy again.
No. Take that. Bad boy.
Yeah, I guess.
Come out and play.
So I don't know. He's got so much money that I'm sure it's stashed in every location where even if the government seizes whatever they can find, he probably still has so much more behind it that it'll never get seized.
Yeah, true. I saw something recently that made me fucking laugh, and it was just so typical. Kamala Harris was in Puerto Rico recently. Did you know about this?
No.
So she is, she's in Puerto Rico doing her whatever the fuck she does, saying tomorrow is tomorrow and today is tomorrow's today type shit. And there's a band playing, and she's like, yay, this is nice music, blah, 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 clapping along. And they're singing. Of course, the bitch doesn't know Spanish. So she's just smiling along, going along with it. And someone finally leans into her ear and says, ma'am, they're talking shit about you. Stop clapping. Hold on. I have video of it. This is when she's being told, hey, they're talking shit about you. And she's like, oh, I'm going to stop clapping. I'm not going to enjoy myself anymore.
All right. What's the translation? What were they saying?
Something like, why are you here? You're an idiot. Type something like that. That's not the exact translation because, I mean, obviously it's a song, but that's the gist of it. She's the idiot vice president. She's the DEI vice president.
Yeah, but most vice presidents are that.
Yeah, to a point. But she's just a fucking dope.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally has said today, tomorrow is today, and tomorrow's today. It's like, what? That's why they kept saying, all she does is say word salads. She's just a dope. She's a dopey cunt.
Well, that's what happens when you choose a running mate based on color and gender.
Yeah. Well, the whole cabinet is all fucked up. You got the secretary of whatever wearing fucking dresses with lipstick and a bald head, stealing dresses from airlines, people's luggage. You got another one that's a tranny. The surgeon she is surgeon general. He's the surgeon general or some shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, at some point you have to hire people based on merit. Not because of their they're gay or they're trans whatever, or they want to be called a xer instead of a her.
Well, no, they're doing it to appeal to the 1% of the whiners that, oh, we want to be inclusive, we want to do this, but it's like TV. Watch any programming on television right now with commercials. Look at any advertisement that you see anywhere, and every couple is mixed.
They're mixed now, yeah.
Their kids are mixed.
Or gay couples.
Every other couple is a gay couple. Every other couple is now like, so on Peacock. I watch Supercross on Peacock, and I think there's one other show that's on there.
Peacock is a gay name, by the way. They should change the name.
Well,
Colorful Bird, not Peacock.
It's NBC. It's a rainbow of feathers. So think about that.
Have you ever seen a peacock though? It doesn't really have a rainbow of feathers. It's just
right. It's turquoise and yellow.
Yeah,
but
it's a grooming peacock.
Every other commercial is some AIDS medication or ED or mental health or birth control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you get on that station. That's it.
I think I heard that we're one of the only 3 countries in the world that allow pharmaceutical commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And they're everywhere. You can't go one commercial block without one.
No. And they're in everything. On Peacock, yeah. Yeah, what was the one yesterday? It was some weird fucking name. Sotogatic or something like that. It was something like that. It was weird.
Some of these names sound like rappers.
A little breast tree.
Yeah, like
little breast tree.
I'm Ozempic, bitch. I'm a fuck you up, bitch. I'm Ozempic.
DJ Ozempic.
What's the other one? Oh God, it's like I can't remember the name, but yeah, they all sound like they could be rappers' names.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find some of these.
What was the one? There's a new one, the plastic thing that goes in your arm, and they first came out with this weird looking chick that everything was pink and everything. It looked like a freaking Pepto-Bismol commercial. But the chick was just like ridiculous. So I think they finally got rid of her, and now it's like empowering women to have birth control, and that's what the commercial is. It's all about. And then there's what's the one? Oh, the one with the girl that doesn't want to smile.
Oh yeah, because she's got some fucked up teeth or something, or is it the one where like she has a crooked smile? Like
no. It's not. It's for skin. She has the pigment discoloration. I'm like the pigment discoloration doesn't look terrible on her, but like the whole time she's like has this funny face until the end. I'm like, this girl like actually kind of smile. Like, come on.
Look at this. Imagine a rapper saying, "Yeah, my name is Atarax." That's a medication.
DJ Adderall.
I'm Atarax, bitch. I'm gonna fucking kill you, bitch.
It's DMX's brother, Atarax.
Xenocol.
Xenocol.
I smoke all kinds of weed because I'm Xenocol. Ooh, Klonopin. Those were fun. Those were fun, man. Do you ever take one?
No.
Yeah.
No,
they were fun.
I haven't.
Some of these drugs are like they're really bad for you, but if you abuse them, and that's the fun part about it. Flomax. I got all kinds of flows, yo. On Flomax.
Yeah.
Dorks. No, that couldn't be a rapper's name.
Dorks. Oh,
But
jeez.
yeah, I think they should stop doing all these commercials. It'd be better for the country. People would stop running to WebMD. Do I need this? This new drug that says that it'll help me battle my constipation and also stop my irritable bowel syndrome and also stop all of my
anal leakage.
Anal leakage.
Anal leakage.
Let's see what WebMD says. And all of a sudden they bring up WebMD. It's like you need to take this pill right now. You might die tomorrow.
WebMD should ask, did you have Taco Bell? Do you eat Taco Bell every fucking day? Do you eat McDonald's every fucking day? Do you have French fries in your diet every fucking day? Bag of chips. You eat a bag of chips every day? This is what your fucking problem is. Hot Cheetos? Fucking problem.
How many bottles of Pepsi do you drink?
How many 2-liter bottles of Pepsi a day do you drink?
Yeah.
That's your problem. Eat a fucking vegetable.
That's my problem. I don't like vegetables.
I'm not one to talk because I'm a fat ass, but I eat right. My problem is I just drink a little too much.
See, the other thing is we don't necessarily buy into these commercials. We're not like, oh, look at this new drug that'll help me grow hair.
I think maybe I took it. I took it wrong. Maybe I was supposed to take it orally. I took it anally, and it came down lower than it should. That's not a suppository, there, buddy.
Yeah, but it felt good going in. Now my butt is itchy.
No, the butt stopped itching because of it.
Now I can't stop itching the butt for no reason.
Oh, jeez.
Did you see that ship hit that bridge in Baltimore this morning?
Yeah.
That was some shit. Now we're talking about conspiracies. Now the tinfoil hats are really strapped on tight. Because now all of a sudden people are like, it was a cyber attack. It was a terrorist attack. It's like, no, motherfucker, the ship lost power. There was something called a current, and the current took the ship to a different direction it didn't want to go.
You mean if the propulsion system on the ship ceases to work, the flow of the water could actually make it change direction?
Unbelievable,
no way.
Right?
No way. I've never floated down a river.
No, never. You ever be in a pool in an inner tube and you just start moving your arms a certain way?
Yeah.
And then you stop and you keep going? It's the same fucking principle.
Do you remember being a kid? Remember those little round swimming pools? They were like 2 feet tall, and your parents would set them up for you.
Yep.
And then you get all your cousins together, and you'd all make
in
a circle, and then it would all just flow, and then you sit there and just go in a circle.
Yep.
Same thing.
Yep. Like, oh, that bridge fell down way too quick and easy. It's like, well, yeah, because it's not meant to take an impact like that.
Yeah. Let's see. It has what does it have? 3 points on it.
Well, so I saw an interview with the structural engineer, and from what the structural engineer said was, this bridge and most bridges are not meant to take lateral stress, only horizontal. And this particular bridge has pivot points at certain areas where they connect to these pillars. And if you look at the way the bridge collapses, if you take out a certain pivot or hinge point, it's gonna fall. Just like if you put a door flat and you take the pin out of a hinge, it's gonna fall. That's exactly what happened.
100%. But I think this bridge only has 2 landings. Outside of land, you only have 2 pillars, and you're taking one of the pillars out. So you've just basically obliterated 50% of its strength, and it's going to collapse.
Right.
It's just the dynamics of how a bridge is built.
Everyone is all of a sudden an expert on cargo ships. Like, why didn't
I've never been
why
on.
didn't
I've
they
never
do
been on
this?
a
Why
cargo
didn't they
ship.
do that? I've never seen a cargo ship except driving by Long Beach Pier, the
Yeah,
Long Beach Harbor,
exactly.
and watching The Wire season 2.
I think I still need to watch that. Am I supposed to watch that one?
Yeah, you're supposed to watch The Wire.
That's what I'm supposed to watch. Okay.
Yeah, and now
I was looking for something yesterday, and
so speaking of HBO, I started watching the Regime. It's horrible. So if anyone's interested in maybe wanting to watch that, save your time. Don't watch it. It sucks.
never seen that. Okay, good. So what am I watching? Oh, Justified.
Which season? Or is it the
I
new
think
one?
it's season 2. It's like we watched the new one, and then I went back and found it had old ones, so I'm watching the old ones.
Justified's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm watching that. The one I started watching that I don't know how I've never heard of this and how I never even paid attention to the show, but it's funny as fuck is The League.
Oh, The League is great.
I've never watched it before. I never seen it before, and I saw like a clip pop up. Someone sent me a clip of Pam. I just know him as Pam from Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah,
it's fucking Pam.
so the first 2 seasons are good. The third season it starts to get repetitive to me, and that's when I stopped watching. Because it seemed to be the same thing over and over again, the same kind of joke, and eventually that's what it became. It was the same. It was too repetitive for me. Like they didn't change it up very much. But that's also what happened to me with Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think I saw the first 5 seasons, and then after that, I was just kind of like, all right, these people are just really fucking retarded.
Yeah. You think they would have learned from last season?
Yeah, but Frank is awesome in that show. Danny DeVito.
Another show I haven't seen.
So because I'm running out of shit to watch, I started watching old TV shows. On Hulu, I found Frasier.
Yeah. Another one I don't get.
It's funny. It's quick-witted. It's dry humor.
I'm a dry humor, quick-wit guy, but I just never got into that one. But I've never really appreciated Frasier, even on Cheers. He was always like the stick in the mud on that show for me.
Yeah. I mean, in that show, he's pretty much the same, but it's funny.
I know.
Anyways.
I was say it's just his character, and even back on from Cheers, I just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Did you get to watch The Gentleman yet?
No.
Got to see that.
It showed up yesterday, but I drove from Moab yesterday, and I was kind of done.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get into it. I think I watched what did the girls watch? The Floor.
No idea what
Talk about a terrible show. It's a game show with Rob Lowe. It's a terrible show. Just the hype of it is the premise is good, but the way they go about it and all the shit that they make it seem like it's cool is not.
My wife has been watching Selling Beverly Hills, and it drives me fucking nuts because it's nothing but they're selling houses in Beverly Hills, like $1 million houses, mansions, and that sort of thing. And they're the real estate agents.
Houses.
Yeah, and the real estate agents all have like thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe hundreds of $1,000s worth of plastic surgery. And their faces are just stretched back and they look like a fucking, like a weirdo. It's like, is that what you have to get your real estate license in California? You have to have plastic surgery or something, because they all seem to have it. And they're all all the men are gay too.
Oh, that's what they choose to put on there, though. But you look at like the Real Housewives; it's the same thing. They're all like so plastic and Botoxed up. It's like they're not even attractive.
I don't understand those shows, the Real Housewives stuff, because who are they? The show is so vapid that they have to have multiple housewives to make it somewhat interesting, because each individual one is a boring motherfucker.
Well, they married someone that has a bunch of money and they're just spending his money. That's all it is.
Is that the premise?
They're the housewives. They're not the breadwinners. They don't have a job. They're not out making money.
I don't even know who the housewives are.
They're the housewives. They're housewives, but they have maids and shit. I'm like, isn't a housewife actually do some shit?
I have an au pair.
All these
my children.
Right. All these hoes got freaking housekeepers and sitters and au pairs and gardeners that they fuck in the fucking pool room, pool man. Like they got everything. I'm like, how are you a housewife? You spend fucking motherfuckers' money.
Speaking of au pairs, I'm surprised Matt Loxley hasn't got one yet, or a nanny. That poor fucker's losing sleep right now with a newborn.
I haven't heard 3 peeps out of Matt lately.
No,
like he's a little too tired.
He's either way too tired, trying to catch up on sleep, changing the diaper, trying to burp the kid, trying to feed the kid, trying to make their dinner.
Or up on a roof.
Yeah. No, he actually just got, I don't want to call him out on this or anything. I don't know if he wants this information out there, but he just got an advancement, not an advancement. I think it's a new job or new title or something. So I don't think he's going to be on roofs anymore.
He's still going to be on roofs. He likes roofs. He likes roofies.
Who doesn't? Except whoever's getting roofied. Why do they call it roofie if it puts you on the fucking floor?
Put you on the floor. Ask Bill Cosby.
Oh, don't.
Have my pudding pop.
Was he in Dragnet? Or what show was
Bill
that
Cosby?
That he was on? Yeah, he was on an old 70s or 60s TV show.
What was
Dragnet.
it?
It was like a cop show or something.
Nah, man.
I think it was before he actually...
I Spy.
Yeah,
it was I Spy. I'm like, I know what it is, but I can't think of it. Yeah,
some of his comedy was actually pretty good.
I love the old Cosby comedy. I kind of grew up with that. Was one of my go-tos was the Cosby on the album, on the LP.
I had an old Red Fox record
on the vinyl. Yeah.
And
I wasn't allowed to Red Fox. Red Fox was a little too colorful for me at that younger age. Cosby was at that teeter line, and then I got a little older, got to Cheech and Chong, but I love Red Fox.
It's Dave, man. Dave who?
Dave's not here.
No, man, it's me, Dave. Open the door. What was the name of the other one? Mother Teresa, Mother... Oh, that was the nun one.
Oh, Sister Mary Elephant.
Yeah.
Sister Mary Elephant.
God, yeah. Those fucking bits were awesome.
And then the Basketball Jones. I got a Basketball Jones.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong, like old comedies, kind of my favorites. You get into the old comedians. That was just like a whole different deal. Like the 70s comedy up into the 80s was good. And then before that you had the older comics that were like a different kind of funny, but still funny as hell.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine today someone making the song Beaners? It would not.
I could, but it wouldn't play on the radio.
That song was fucking hilarious. I mean, it's a white dude that looks Chinese just singing "Beaners will kick you in the face."
It's just so much of that the old comedy, even the old TV shows. You look at watch episodes of Sanford and Son. You laugh your fucking ass off, and everything is like that never happened today.
Or even the Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons, Good Times, Archie
Mhm.
Bunker.
Oh,
Like
wow,
any
yeah.
of those shows in
Married with
that
Children?
era. Married with Children was another one that they didn't really go more wasn't a lot of racial jokes in Married with Children.
No, it was more domestic jokes.
It was more about fat ladies and wives and the
Yeah.
chicken next door.
Yeah.
It was more about situation stuff like that. But those old shows like that, I sit and watch. Even probably one that most people don't even know existed, Chico and the Man.
Oh, wow. That was, wasn't that Freddie
Freddie
Prinze's
Prinze.
dad?
Freddie Prinze's dad. It was, yeah. And he killed himself like young too.
Yeah. Was he a musician also? I can't remember.
I believe he was an actor, and I think even on the show he played like a guitar or something. If I can recall, that's one of those ones I haven't been able to find anywhere.
I wonder if there's a reason for that.
I don't know.
It wasn't that great of a show because I think it only lasted 3 seasons, didn't it?
Yeah. Apparently I can't type. Yeah, but I mean they had like so it was Freddie Prinze, Jack Albertson, Scatman Crothers was on it. Della Reese, Charo was a constant fixed feature on the show.
Aye.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Does it say what show?
Says what?
Tubi has it on there now.
Oh, really?
Oh, I guess I'm watching some Chico and the Man tonight.
You know what else is on Tubi? Season 2 of Kingdom Crawl and American Crawler. Go watch it.
Okay. I'll have to watch that.
I was actually surprised when I was asked if I wanted to have it on distribution on Tubi.
They just email you and go, "Hey, would you like to have it here?"
So there's a guy that I was talking to, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I can get your movie distributed here and there and that sort of thing." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, it has to be good though. It can't just be some bullshit. It can't just be like you pulled out your iPhone and you started filming shit." I was like, "No, I think it's decent for the genre that it is. I think it's decent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's great."
Yeah, I use a Google Pixel, not an iPhone.
So he was like, "All right, send me a link to it somewhere so I can watch it." I sent it to him. He's like, "This flies. Let's do it." So he arranged the whole thing and got it on Amazon, got it on Tubi. I think it's on Freevee, and it's actually huge in Australia. It's gotten a lot of views in Australia. And I was really surprised by that. And I really shouldn't be surprised by that because Australia does a lot of off-roading.
Yeah. If they just let it play like it comes next in succession, if you're watching stuff, it comes up occasionally. I'll put like watching King of Hammers on YouTube. And then it'll end, and all of a sudden they'll start like playing videos after, and most of the time it pops up on there in either the next or in line of things you should be watching.
Sometimes I'll get messages, and it'll be like, "Hey, I'm in this bar, and I'm watching Chive TV, and Craw 5280 videos are coming on this Chive TV in the bar," and I'm like,
in the bar.
I forgot. I gave Chive TV access to do that.
Whatever.
Fuckers never paid me a fucking penny for it, but whatever.
Well, you have to get 10 billion views before you get a penny.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Maybe one day I'll design some knockoff wheels. Maybe I'll get a different girlfriend or wife and put her on OnlyFans. Make inappropriate videos.
Oh.
Anyone from Dubai, just give me a shout. Let's rip someone off. All right, I'm done. All right, folks, that's the show for today. Thanks for listening.
So funny thing, I'm at Patriot Crawl, and a couple that comes, and I have to apologize to them because I'm terrible with names. I see him every year. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And then the name just...
Is it Tom?
Yeah, it's Tom.
What's his name? Patterson?
And the problem that I had is his wife's last name isn't Patterson.
Yeah, true.
And I didn't
Laura,
put
right?
the two together. It's Laura. Yeah, it's Coda. Laura Coda.
Yeah, there you go.
Brownwood got stuck in his RV or something, got broken, so we didn't have a leader for the trail. So Melissa Payson says that, Laura and Tom should be up there. They could probably lead for you. I'm running behind, and they never showed up. They just got super late. And I'm like, who's Laura? And she's me. And I was just talking to her. I'm like, oh fuck, I feel like a dipshit. I'm like, because it didn't make sense to me that the name was, I'm all Laura Coda. Who's Laura Coda? He told me. I'm like, oh fuck, I just thought it was Patterson.
So the funny thing, I ran into her in Tennessee one time on a trail. And she introduced herself, and she's like, I'm Tom's wife. I'm like, oh, I remember you now. And I felt like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I'm terrible about this. This whole name thing is just kills me.
Yeah. People should wear name tags.
I need a name tag. So I remember who I am.
Would you change your name to like
change my
Gregory?
name?
Yeah. So people stop calling you Armando in public and just ignore you and not try to say, hey man, can you still get our tech parts?
Nah.
No.
Nah. Everyone kind of knows.
If you had to change your name to an Anglo name, what would it be?
I just use my middle name.
What's that?
Eugene.
Perfect. I just got my hunting license yesterday, and I'm looking at my official name, like my birth name, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so Mexican.
What's the full name? How many sub names you have in there?
It's just Gabriel Antonio Mercado.
Oh, it's not Della Mercado.
No,
Ola.
my family. No, they didn't get that deep.
They didn't go that deep. Okay, so first generation
thank
still.
God. Yeah, thank God. I didn't need to be Montoya, Mercado, Reyes, Gustavo, whatever.
Luckily, my parents had a friend that had a sort of white name, so I got the Eugene.
We should just call you Eugene from now on. It does not fit at all, but that would be fun.
It doesn't fit. And the funny thing is I don't use it for anything, and I've actually got it so it doesn't appear on my driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on I don't think it's on my passport. I just ignore it, and it doesn't exist.
See, in Tennessee, you have to have your birth certificate name on your driver's license. So,
I get the exemption because my birth name isn't my actual used name. So maybe that's why I get the exception, because it's different. Because when you have a sperm donor's last name on your birth certificate and your father's name on your driver's license and everything else, then that works out that way.
I was in a car accident CHP or the highway patrol guy was in his car doing this paperwork thing, and I'm talking to the guy that crashed into me, and all of a sudden I heard you. I turn around, I'm like, it's like, didn't you hear me calling you? I'm like, no. He's like, I said Gabriel. I'm like, oh, that's why.
I don't answer that name.
I go by Gabe. Gabriel's my dad. He's like, oh, I get it. I'm a junior too. Yeah, it was fun as a kid. People calling, asking for Gabriel, and all of a sudden they're like, my dad's like, junior or senior? It's like, Dad, why would you ask a kid on the phone if they're asking for you?
He could be trying to sell me the paper. You don't know. Maybe he has a subscription to something I need to be buying. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Columbia House trying to send me 30 CDs for a penny.
For a penny. I think I still owe Columbia House
30 cassettes for a penny.
Yeah. Those are some good
from the TV
deals.
guide. From the TV guide.
Yeah. You'd rip out the little insert.
Little thing with a little checkbox, and you mail that thing in, and
next know you're getting junk mail from Columbia House for fucking the next 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, they're asking for their money back.
I wonder how they made money to begin with, because even if you did do the obligated penny plus whatever, it was still cheaper to go through them than Tower Records or the Warehouse Music or any of those other places. Well,
no overhead. They don't have to have a location. They don't have to have employees at a location that are sitting there stealing from them in a warehouse, and a guy in a warehouse in his underwear just putting stuff into boxes and sending it out.
There needs to be a Netflix documentary about Columbia House.
I'm sure there's something.
There's an idea. I'm writing this down. No one steal this idea. This is my idea.
It's already stolen. Someone's already stolen it.
Writing
it down. before you can finish writing it down, it's already stolen. Let's see.
I'm going to contact Sony and ask them for a loan so I can do a documentary on Columbia House. I think there was a documentary about Tower Records and how it closed down so suddenly. Because that was a very popular music place. Are you Googling Columbia House?
The Target Shoots First is apparently a movie about...
Oh, someone already took my idea?
Columbia House, but I don't think it's really about Columbia House. It's about some dude. Yeah, it's about some
guy that worked at Columbia House.
Yeah. So here's a shit ton of YouTube videos about Columbia House and the great rock and roll swindle.
That's it. I'm doing this.
What happened at Columbia House?
Yeah, I got to do it. That would be fun. At least I'll research
Columbia House documentary. So I think it's the Target. The Target Shoots First is about the guy. Oh, this one's good. The AV Club. 4 Columbia House insiders explain the shady math behind 8 CDs for a penny.
Send me that link.
This is from 2015.
Oh, wow. All right. I think we should wrap it up here. So, yeah. Good talk.
Good talk.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
Oh, I know where I was going with that story. Jeez, it just dawned on me.
All right, I guess we're not done. Go on.
No. I just did quickly. So someone mentioned that they listened, and it was so fucking funny, and they were like, all they brought up is a freaking Light Bright episode. I'm like, fuck, really? That's all we're known for now. Fuck, quit bringing it up, fucking Gabe. It's like, fuck, it was so fucking funny. I'm like, fucking really?
Every time I talk to someone, they say the same thing. Like, you need to do another episode about someone else doing that shit. I'm like, well, someone needs to start beef with me first of all, because I'm not going to just attack someone.
I'm like, fuck. So, yeah, that was funny. That's what it was. But okay, I'm done.
All right, everyone. If you haven't listened to the Light Bright episode yet, feel free to listen to that Light Bright episode. Give me your feedback.
Send Armando some PMs.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Take to it next week. Yeah, maybe we'll have a guest next week. So listen to these two dorks.
Bye.
Bye.